Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, Investments, Trade and Industry. Yes, Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to first and foremost support this motion of consideration for the appointment of the cabinet secretaries. And Honorable Speaker, thank the President for taking his time and getting the right candidates for this position. Honorable Speaker, I have a view that the three candidates, and I will enumerate in particular the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, whom I happen to have interacted with prior to this appointment. And Honorable Speaker, I find Honorable Mutahi Kagwe as a very strong candidate for this appointment and feel the performance he displayed, Honorable Speaker, during his position as the Cabinet Secretary in charge of health shall follow suit. The only thing I would wish to comment and recommend to the Cabinet, to the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, is, Honorable Speaker, to know that all of us are looking forward to him to put agriculture as a sector in order. We want to see, Honorable Speaker, a situation where the aspiration of the President to make sure that sugarcane farmers, Honorable Speaker, are able to earn bonus be fulfilled, Honorable Speaker. We want to see a situation, Honorable Speaker, that the brokers in between, the people who would want to affect the chain of distribution in terms of agriculture, Honorable Speaker, is dismantled. We want to see, Honorable Speaker, that Honorable Mutahi Kagwe puts his foot down to see that, Honorable Speaker, we don't get fertilizer that is in doubt. Let the government agenda, Honorable Speaker, to give us the fertilizer at 2,500 be implemented and even come more lower. But, Honorable Speaker, we get the right fertilizer for our input. Honorable Speaker, we want to see that the marketing of our product in terms of how to sell it and where to sell is opened more, wider and wider, so that, Honorable Speaker, we see as farmers all what is good to be implemented. And, Honorable Speaker, I want to say that we are now implementing the sugar bill, Sugar Act, and I would want to request the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, should this House consider and approve his nomination, Honorable Speaker, let him make sure that he concludes what has been started, so that, Honorable Speaker, we get the sugar sector be very much independent and implemented. Honorable Speaker, speaking on Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, I had a privilege of working with him, Honorable Speaker, especially during the previous campaigns, and I found, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Lee Kinyanjui as a very astute member of any organization. And him, Honorable Speaker, having been a governor, it's important. I thank him and say, Honorable Speaker, the docket that he's being bestowed on investment, trade and industry is not a small docket, Honorable Speaker. It's a docket that balloons the economy of our country. All what we manufacture, Honorable Speaker, must get the destination, and all what is possible to invest, Honorable Speaker, any small-scale person relies on this docket, Honorable Speaker. We want to see him working hand in hand with the National Treasury to open up the sectors that we need to supply our products. Let us open up the industry the manufacturing sector, so that, Honorable Speaker, we don't just say we want our youth to get employment. Let our youth, Honorable Speaker, get very good employment, especially where foreigners and those people with money can invest in good industries to add value on our produce. As an agricultural economy, Honorable Speaker, we must have where to add value to our produce, and that is where Honorable Lee Kinyanjui is going to come in. Honorable Speaker, on the front of ICT, under the Honorable William Kabogo, I don't have a benefit of having worked with him, but having felt him as a governor of Kiambu, he was a forthright, and as well as a member of this House, Honorable Speaker, you could see, I went to the Hansard, and you could see, Honorable Speaker, how astute Honorable Kabogo was on the floor, and how astute, Honorable Speaker, he could force and push issues. We want him, Honorable Speaker, to push that Kenya moves to the next level of ICT. Let us not just be manual, mechanical, rather, Honorable Speaker, move to the next global frontier. Honorable Speaker, we must look at the issue of the internet supply. We must look at the issue of communication. We must look at the issue, Honorable Speaker, that internet is not meant for disabuse. Honorable Speaker, internet is meant for communication. It's not meant for ridicule. Let Honorable Kabogo come in and know that he should be able, Honorable Speaker, to put the provisions as they are supposed to be, so that we have a fair play, so that let everyone who is using the internet use it within the law. It's not an issue of the youth. Many a times, Honorable Speaker, people have said the youth are abusing the internet. That is wrong. Even the elderly, Honorable Speaker, when they speak on the internet platform, they must inform each other rather than abusing each other. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, these nominees stand a good chance, and I will want to say, Honorable Speaker, we approve them so that we all move forward as a country and get our spaces replaced. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Bowen. Give Kangogo the...
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the three nominees, Mr. Speaker, for the Cabinet Secretary's position. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say some few things. Starting with the Honorable Kakwe, Mr. Speaker, I want to support this nomination as a Cabinet Secretary. Mr. Speaker, when the Honorable Kakwe was the CS for Health, at a very difficult time, Mr. Speaker, when the country was fighting the COVID-19, he proved himself, Mr. Speaker, that as a capable Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Health then. And Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Honorable Kakwe as he moves to the Ministry of Agriculture. The agriculture is the backbone of our economy as a country. And Mr. Speaker, in the last few months, the Ministry of Agriculture has been on the wrong for many things, especially the fertilizer. Mr. Speaker, the harvest which we currently many farmers harvested some few months ago, some of them were affected because of the fake fertilizers which was there last year. Mr. Speaker, we want to ask the CS nominee that as he takes over the ministry, once he is approved by this House, to make sure that the Ministry of Agriculture becomes the backbone, Mr. Speaker, and supports the farmers of this country to produce enough for this country. There is no need, Mr. Speaker, when we have almost majority of Kenyans, 90% of our people, they are farmers, and they are getting a little support from the government. Mr. Speaker, the issue number two, the cartels we have in Ministry of Agriculture, they are quite a number. You will find that farmers, there are so many middlemen. In coffee, in tea, they are not benefiting from their produce. So we want to seek that the Cabinet Secretary, once he's in that office, is able to help the Kenyan farmers. Mr. Speaker, the issue of ICT and the Honorable Kabogo, if he's approved by this House. I think ICT is an emerging technology, Mr. Speaker, and there are so many challenges, from fraud to hacking to so many things. And there is need to regulate actually the industry. There is a lot to be done in the industry to make sure that the new ICT, the digitization in the country, they are used for the benefit of the people and the young people, and it is not a platform for abuses. It's not a platform for people to make illegal activities. And Mr. Speaker, finally, the Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, we want also to support him in the Ministry of Trade. The trade, Mr. Speaker, our import and export, Mr. Speaker, determines also our balance between a shilling and the dollar. So when we have a lot of export, Mr. Speaker, as a country, you will see that we will benefit from the business of foreign exchange. And currently, I think as a country, we are importing more than what we are exporting. So we expect that the Lee Kinyanjui, when he comes in, he will take up the ministry to the next level to benefit Kenyan traders. Mr. Speaker, I support the 3 nominees.
Yes, Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also take this opportunity to support the nominations of the 3 appointees, being the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, the Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, and the Honorable William Kabogo. Honorable Speaker, these 3 all have one thing in common. They have a wealth of experience. They each have done unique things within the sphere of their previous appointments that make them exceptional. And Honorable Speaker, just as it has been said by our previous members, is that we really want to encourage that these cabinet secretaries focus their work nationally and not just within the country. Honorable Speaker, we all remember very well how the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe was very instrumental during the COVID-19 period. And Honorable Speaker, some of the things that really impressed me when I watched the interview was when he spoke about engaging the youth in the agricultural sector. Because, Honorable Speaker, we are a country that is largely agricultural, but our young people are not interested in that space. And some of the ideas that he did share in terms of how he would engage the youth in this space was very impressive. Honorable Speaker, the other thing that the Honorable Mutahi Kagwe spoke about was the use of AI technology within our weather and agricultural space, which is something that is very progressive. It is being used in other countries, and it's very enlightening and very exciting to hear that a cabinet nominee for agriculture is actually talking about engaging AI in terms of the weather checks and also the increasing our agricultural produce. Honorable Speaker, in terms of the Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, I support his nomination. Honorable Lee Kinyanjui was fantastic as a governor. And not only that, those of us who worked within the Azimio Secretariat will remember how Honorable Lee Kinyanjui really assisted us in having a youth volunteer movement across the whole country. And he was very magnanimous in terms of how he shared his wealth of experience with us. Honorable Speaker, and finally the Honorable William Kabogo, when his nomination was announced, someone asked me why they would take someone like William Kabogo in the ICT space. But those of us who are really, really interested in that space know that the Honorable William Kabogo did a lot of digital transformation in Kiambu County. While he was there, he ensured that there was free Wi-Fi in the urban centers in Kiambu County. He ensured there was a digital county transformation service, including educating the people of Kiambu County to be able to engage in financial systems within the county. Honorable Speaker, even the system of digital revenue collection, while I was a member of County Assembly, I remember that one of the counties that we did visit as a place as a learning experience was Kiambu County, because they were able to strengthen and have a cashless system within their digital system. And so, Honorable Speaker, this for sure is a nominee who really understands that particular environment. And Honorable Speaker, without gainsetting what has already been done within the ICT sector, we do want to ensure that the entire country of Kenya has fiber optic. And I really like the fact that he already has knowledge in this space. Honorable Speaker, the nominee, William Kabogo, also spoke about the unethical use of social media, protecting the youth from harmful use of social media. And I did hear him also suggesting that we should get into a place where we regulate the social media space. We do not necessarily need to gag people from social media like TikTok, X, and Facebook, but we can introduce regulations within this space. The other thing that he spoke about that was very interesting, Honorable Speaker, is that he talked about the Konza Technopolis and having investors come on board in that particular space so that we can grow our Technopolis space. Honorable Speaker, the only thing I just want to say and encourage, and this is also because we are saying now that we want our cabinet secretaries to work for the whole of Kenya, It is my wish that the executive would actually have a rotational basis where 2 weeks in every month, the cabinet secretaries can actually go to different parts of this country and work from there, so that they can understand what Kenyans are going through. They can understand the different spaces that their ministries and dockets are engaging on, and then that way they'll be able to serve all Kenyans very well. We don't have to have cabinet secretaries being confined in Nairobi in the headquarters. I wish they would actually rotate and go everywhere. With those very few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I wish to support the nominations. I thank you.
Wamumbi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to offer support to this motion that seeks...
Members, I will be calling the mover to reply at 12:30. So those I'm giving an opportunity, take as little time as you possibly can. I would recommend 2-3 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Obliged. I also rise to support this motion that seeks to approve the appointment of Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, and Honorable William Kabogo as Cabinet Secretaries, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I specifically ask Honorable Mutahi Kagwe to take the issue of vaccination very seriously, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the President has just come back from UAE in search of markets for our beef. And Mr. Speaker, it is only the well-vaccinated livestock that will compete for the markets out there. And we saw him during the interview. He said it is not a forced exercise. It is those who are willing, but we continue to urge our farmers to welcome this vaccination issue because it's of advantage to their beef, so that their beef can fetch good markets out there, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the people of Mukurweini, where Honorable Mutahi Kagwe was born and where he comes from. It is very bad, and I want to sympathize with them, that as we approve their son, their MP, Mr. Speaker, is not in this house to stand with the people of Mukurweini. I have seen him in a barrio somewhere propagating the Itungati fake narrative. He was supposed to be in this house to approve a son of Mukurweini, but instead of coming to this house to approve the son of Mukurweini, he is in a funeral somewhere propagating an Itungati fake narrative. I assure the people of Mukurweini that we are going to make sure their son is approved so that he can serve Kenyans and all Kenyans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Women Rep Kwale. Women Rep Kwale.
Basi asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi hii. Mimi pia niunge mkono uteuzi wa mawaziri hawa watatu ambao wamelipitishwa na kamati ya uteuzi hivi majuzi na leo hii wameletwa katika bunge hili. Mimi naunga mkono Mheshimiwa Spika, na pia niwapatie tu nasaha yangu kidogo mawaziri hawa. Ndugu zangu, mmechaguliwa na tunawachagua sisi kama wabunge wa bunge hili la kitaifa kwa roho moja. Mimi natoka Kwale na ningependa na naomba wakati mkifanya kazi mawaziri wetu, mjue Kwale pia ni county katika zile county 47. Muweze pia sisi kunyorosha mkono kwetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kaunti ambayo ina ukulima na ina mashamba ambayo yana rutuba kubwa sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Na sisi pia Wakwale ni wafugaji wazuri sana Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini utapata katika ukulima wetu na ufugaji wetu katika kaunti yetu hatuwezeshwi mara nyingi, hatuwezeshwi kisheria na hatuwezeshwi pia kipesa. Bado tunafanya ukulima ule wa zamani ambao hauwezi kwa sasa hivi. Ulimwengu mahali umefika, tunahitaji ukulima wa kisasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, Kwale bado sisi tuko nyuma sana kwa mambo ya ukulima na ufugaji. Tunafuga kama nilivyoelezea. Mheshimiwa Spika, nilikuwa na matumaini makubwa sana wakati Mheshimiwa Salim Mburia waziri alipokuwa amechaguliwa katika wizara hii ya investments and trade. Nilikuwa na matumaini, nikajua kwa sababu kila mtu anajua mahali kiatu kinapomchoma, basi Mheshimiwa Mvurya angekuwa mzuri sana kwa kuweza kurekebisha Kwale. Lakini kwa sababu hawa pia ni Wakwale, ni Wakenya wenzetu, nasema nawapatia kongole. Lakini waangalie sana. Kwale sisi hatuna viwanda. Best titanium imeenda inakufa, hiyo imekwisha mambo yake. Tuna Ramisi Sugar ile Kwale Sugar Factory. Hatuwezi kusema tuna kampuni ya sukari Kwale. Hatuna viwanda kabisa ndani ya Kwale. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba nasaha yangu mawaziri, mnapoingia mujue Kwale pia ni katika zile kaunti 47 na muweze kutunyoroshea mkono. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, sitaki niwe mrefu sana. Naunga mkono uteuzi wa mawaziri hawa Mheshimiwa Spika.
Martin Owino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I rise to support this special motion, I want to congratulate you and your team for you sat through it all. And we watched it and we took notes. The Speaker, there's only one item which I would like to be introduced into our vetting exercise. In this House, we did pass that we have quarterly reports from our ministries. How I hope that those reports, if it's somebody from a ministry like a cabinet, Kagwe, we would have that report from the department to tell us how he performed in that section. And also that report will help the majority leader in his report so that he can reference it. The same with others from the two gentlemen from the Senate. So if we can be citing reports from these sectors, it is going to make it more better than individual verbal appreciations. Other than say that the three nominees impressed me much. As a member of the departmental committee on health, I want to say Honorable Kagwe has a competency, and I know he will do a good job. I just want him when he gets there, if approved, so that he can start with some things which are really bothering Kenyans. Having come from the Ministry of Health, he values health. The issue of pesticides, Mr. Speaker, is causing a lot of harm to our people. As we speak, over 310 products of pesticides are used in this country. And pesticides have been connected to 6 cancers. And if not checked, we can harm us more. As for Kabogo, we have built, according to the presidential initiative, every ward. Like in my constituency, I have 3 wards with ICT hub. But I've written so many letters to have them equipped, have not been done. As for Lee Kinyanjui, how I wish you also put as a priority, in a priority list, building industries in our rural settings so that our kids do not migrate to urban areas to be slum dwellers, and also to make value addition to our natural products. With those, Mr. Speaker, I support the 3 nominees.
Wamrata. Give her the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also stand to support the approval of the 3 honorable members of this country that bring in a wealth of experience from the past times that they have worked for this nation. I personally want to first congratulate the 3 of them for getting this opportunity and being approved to serve this country. And I also want to echo the words that were said by our ML over the Minister Kagwe, who was during the COVID time, the Minister for Health, and he brought in a whole wealth of experience to a point that he was able to identify with even all the children in the country, that even the young children had a name for him. And I remember one child who used to call him Mutuenu wa Corona, because he had spoken about COVID until even the children had come to understand. The other thing is that he very well coordinated with the young people, and especially in his quotes, not forgetting the quote that he had, that if we continue treating this disease normally, it is going to treat us abnormally. And I want to request Honorable Kagwe to come with the same great slogans to the young people so that he may be able to teach them agriculture and enable them to understand that agriculture is also a way of earning a living, whereby we have our young people who still don't believe that agriculture is a way of earning a living. And if he comes with the wealth of experience that he has, I want to believe that our children are going to identify with him. I also want to congratulate the Honorable William Kafogo, who comes from the county that I represent, the county of Kiambu, and Lee Kenyanjui, who too also come with the wealth of experiences, considering that both of them have served as governors in very densely populated counties that are cosmopolitan. And I really want to thank the President for considering these two people who have served with Kenyans and served in counties that have a population of all the communities in this country. And so we want to believe that as they come in, they will come to serve Kenyans and not their region. I also want to believe that Honorable Kafogo will be able to handle the issue of ICT. And I remember when he was a governor, there used to be free Wi-Fi in hospitals, and especially one time I visited a maternity hospital in Kiambu Level 5, and there was free Wi-Fi, which I don't think is there today. And I want to believe that when he brings all this kind of information that he had and the wealth of information, that we are going to go to the next height. I also want, on my last point, to tell these people that they are coming in to the country when there is a lot of heat of political noise in the country. And I want to pray and request them that they come in.
Dr. Nyikal, your time is up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, as I support the nomination of this gentleman, I have two observations that I want to bring out that are important, and 2 points. Mr. Speaker, the issue of regional and ethnic equity, although we have played it down and we said is something we should look at, but I can't blame them for that because they did not appoint themselves in this position, but it's something we should look at in the future. The second thing, Mr. Speaker, is these are gentlemen who have worked well, but again there are 2 points, particularly for Honorable Kagwe and Honorable Kabogo, that actually did besmirch them. The issue during the corona where Mutai worked very well, but the COVID billions, actually it did raise issues. I saw them respond to this. I saw him respond to this, and also Honorable Kabogo, again there was issue of the lady that died. I saw him respond to this, but the biggest problem we have in this country is integrity. So we may start to look at the principle of being as spotless as a bishop's wife, but I know because of what they have done, they'll actually prove themselves beyond those issues. The other one, Mr. Speaker, that is a point that I think they can. The three of them, if they work together, Mr. Speaker, they can solve the problem of employment amongst our youth. I believe that it is actually agro-industry that will be our industrialization that can employ our people, and that will include actually the Honorable Kagwe and Honorable Kabogo. And Honorable Kinyanjui. Kinyanjui in industry, Mutagwe in agriculture, and IT and communication. And all of them have done that. If they actually work in these three areas, and they can actually create massive employment for our youth. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Bishop Kosgei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also, from the onset, wish to support the motion about the nominees into various ministries as outlined by the committees. And I wish to congratulate the committee for having had a thorough conversation between and amongst the three. And we were able to watch, Mr. Speaker, from the comfort of our homes. And I wish to congratulate them for their performance. They indicated, number one, the maturity in the ministries that they are going to serve, and also experience that they are bringing to the government. I wish to appeal to them, as this House would approve, because I'm appealing that we do so, that one, we have witnessed a trend of members of executive violating the oath of secrecy in government. This is not a good tradition and not a good trend. And we are appealing, and I listened to them when questions were placed before them that was really tempting them to reveal what they knew and what they did, and I was so impressed that they were bound by the oath of secrecy. I think the rest of us in government should be able to learn. Number two, Mr. Speaker, is that we are appealing as they come. There has been a missing link in terms of communication of what the government is doing. And that people who are thriving with propaganda in social media have taken a field day. We are not hearing anyone from the side of government. Finally, Mr. Speaker, is that the issue of technology, that which has been abused, and some others have been using our young people to do things that are unethical. With the coming of Kabogo and the experiences he has, we hope this will be sanitized. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support the approval of these nominees.
Rueda.
Asante Bwana Spika, kunipatia nami nafasi nipate kuchangia. Mimi moja kwa moja naunga mkono, na nataka tu niwaambie vile wamesema pale kwa kamati iwe ni hivyo. Sio kusema tu kwa mdomo, bali waseme kwa vitendo. Maana mara nyingi tumeona kama hii ministry ya ICT, kuna wakati ilitoa nafasi za vijana kila county wawili, lakini county zingine hazipewi hizo nafasi. Utaona hata zile zetu 2 zinapewa wengine. Kwa hivyo waziri akifika hapo, aangalie kama Wakenya, aangalie Kenya yote, asiache Mkenya mwingine nje. Sisi ni Wakenya pia, kule kwetu ni Lamu mbali kidogo tutasaulika. Kwa hivyo atuzingatie na atumie ile affirmative kufikiria na kusaidia watu walioko mbali. Si lazima Lamu peke yake, lakini Wakenya wote kwa jumla. Niambie pia waziri wa ukulima ajue sisi samaki iko katika ukulima. So asiangalie tu upande wa ukulima peke yake, angalie mifugo na angalie pia samaki. Samaki iko kwa ukulima, aje na mbinu za kisasa zile ambazo zitatusaidia. Sio zile za kwamba babu yetu alikwenda kivua samaki akipata pengine kilo 20 kwa mara moja, sasa watu wakienda wanapata kilo 1. So atafute mbinu mbadala, mbinu za kisasa, pia wasaidie wavuvi wetu kule wapate kufaidika. Mbali na hivyo, eneo ninaloliwakilisha mimi Lamu Mashariki lina upande mwingi wa manufaa. Kuna upande wa kuseme samaki, pia sisi ni wakulima wa simsim, ni wakulima wa watermelon. Kuna mfadhili mmoja alisaidia tu hivi karibuni akapeana 500,000 kwa kikundi cha youth. 500,000 hiyo ilitoa watermelon mpaka tukashindwa kuuza. Watermelon ni nyingi sana. So kunao haja ya waziri kuingia pia kule kuangalia area zile gani zitatoa mazao gani tuweze kusaidia watu wetu, na pia itakuwa ni kuinua uchumi wa Kenya. Pia upande huo kuna ukulima mfano kama wa ndimu, ukulima wa mhogo, lakini bado ni ile ya zamani. Hawatusaidii ukulima wa simsim. Mimi namuomba waziri mwanzo ukulima wa simsim, si ndio tunatoa simsim nzuri. Ajue akiingia kuna kazi inamngojea pale mezani. Ajue kule Lamu Mashariki simsim ziko nyingi haziuziki kwa sababu ya makosa ya watu wengine. Wao walitumia ile dawa inaita wakausha mimea. Sasa ile simsim yetu haiwezi kuuzika kule uzunguni, haiwezi kwenda. Kwa hivyo aje atafautishe, wale wanatumia madawa wasipeleke hizo bidhaa zao, lakini wale ambao hawatumii madawa zile bidhaa zao ziweze kupelekwa. Na sintarajia aseme kwamba ati zungumza na county. Mimi
Time up. Cherorot, then mover, be ready to reply.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr.
Speaker. 1
Speaker.
hour and you all agreed.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the appointment of the 3 nominees